Well, before his positive test for COVID, President Trump spoke to Fox News about his close aide, Hope Hicks, and her own positive test.
She did test positive. I just heard about this. She tested positive. She's a hard worker, a lot of masks. She wears masks a lot, but she tested positive. And I just went out with a test. I'll see what, because we spent a lot of time, and the First Lady just went out with a test also.
Well, First Lady Melania Trump also posted on Twitter following the news that she and the president had tested positive for COVID-19. She said, as too many Americans have done this year, the president and I are quarantining at home after testing positive for COVID-19. We are feeling good, she said, and I have postponed all upcoming engagements. Please be sure you are staying safe and we will all get through this together. Vice President Mike Pence tweeted, Karen and I send our love and prayers to our dear friends, President Trump and the First Lady. We join millions across America praying for their full and swift recovery. God bless you, President Trump, and our wonderful First Lady Melania. World leaders have also been tweeting their reaction. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi said, wishing my friend President Trump and the First Lady a quick recovery and good health. And here in the UK, the Prime Minister Boris Johnson, who of course contracted coronavirus earlier this year, said he sent his best wishes to President Trump and the First Lady, writing, hope they both have a speedy recovery from coronavirus. And the Director General of the World Health Organization has also given his best wishes to the President and the First Lady for a full and speedy recovery. And in Russia, the Kremlin spokesman Dmitry Peskov has wished Donald Trump a swift and easy recovery. Well, let's speak now to our North America correspondent, David Willis, who joins us from LA. David, hello again to you. So in terms of the timeline of when and how the president contracted this virus, he obviously has been in close contact with his aide, Hope Hicks, who also tested positive. So that seems a reasonable assumption that it's from that close circle of advisors that this has happened.
That's right, Anita, and Hope Hicks has been travelling with President Trump for most of the last week, and she tested negative in a test for coronavirus on Tuesday, ditto on Wednesday, but then there was that positive COVID-19 test, and a short while later, President Trump confirming that both he and his wife Melania had contracted COVID-19. It all raises a number of questions, not least the future of the presidential campaign, how it will pan out, and of course the running of this country. What we don't know precisely is how ill President Trump actually is. We have this statement from his personal physician, Sean Conley. It says that both he and the First Lady are doing well and plan to remain at home during their convalescence, being the White House being home in this case. And he goes on to say, I expect the president to continue carrying out his duties without disruption whilst recovering. But make no mistake, this will completely change the nature of this presidential campaign. The president will have to withdraw from it to all intents and purposes for a period of time. We don't know how long, of course, and he will have to abandon those rallies. He's already abandoned one later today that was a fundraising event in Florida, a swing state, and he will have to campaign from the White House, and that, of course, is really going to upend what was already a very strange campaign.
As you point out, David, although the letter from his personal physician says that he is well, we don't actually know, do we, whether Donald Trump has any symptoms of this virus currently. So the only clues we can look out for are whether we see more tweets, I guess, whether we see any appearances from within the White House itself.
Well, you're absolutely right. And of course, it is worrying because at 74 years of age and technically obese, President Trump is in a high-risk group as far as the coronavirus is concerned. And we also don't know, of course, how close he came behind the scenes to his Democratic rival Joe Biden. They were face-to-face, well, distanced face-to-face, if you like, socially distanced for the debate in Cleveland earlier this week, Tuesday night. But how close they got behind the scenes, we simply don't know. As far as contact tracing is concerned, we know that President Trump and Hope Hicks have been in contact with members of Donald Trump's family, including Eric and Donald Jr., Ivanka Trump, the Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, and Amy Coney Barrett, who is President Trump's nominee for the vacant seat on the U.S. Supreme Court. So there are a lot of questions, and we don't know how far this virus has spread, but it is certainly there in 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and that is very worrying to a lot of people in this country. Just on that point, David, interesting to see a tweet from Mike Pompeo saying that he and his wife flying to Dubrovnik had a test before they got off the plane, which was negative. So I guess there is that expectation that individuals like Mike Pence and other key figures around Donald Trump will need to come forward and say what their status is with regards to this virus. Absolutely. And we've heard from Mike Pence wishing Donald Trump and Melania Trump well at this time. And of course, it's possible that Mike Pence could play a significant role in the weeks ahead if it's judged that Donald Trump is incapacitated in some way. The 25th Amendment of the U.S. Constitution lays out that it would be the Vice President, Mike Pence in this case, who would take over the presidential duties. We're some way away from all that. There's a lot of speculation, of course, very few facts, but that is the way the Constitution demands that things proceed. Ultimately, if Mike Pence were incapacitated, it would then be the leader of the House, Nancy Pelosi. Such is the order of succession as laid out in the U.S. Constitution. But a lot of people will be looking to know, and it's late at night here in the United States, what sort of condition Donald Trump is when we get that first communique on the matter from the White House in the morning. OK, David, thank you very much. David Willis in Los Angeles.